backs on these mechanic stools. Be careful the way you sit on them. It will topple forward. Try to make sure you get it planted all the way back in the seat, because the wheels are so slick on these stools. And still got head clearance, and I've got in a perfect position here to work on the rear lower control arm.
Here I'm putting my pole jack under the rear axle to keep things held in place when I unbolt the rear lower control arm so it doesn't shift out of place too much through the process. As you can see, I decided not to use my mechanic stool after all.
You got to make sure your emergency brake is disengaged before you put it on the lift. I did have to disengage that because you don't want any tension on this. This part right here, push it back down. Once the tension's off, it'll just come out this way where this big opening. I'm a little backwards here. Let's see, right here. It'll just slide right out, and then you can just slide it out of here, push it down. We'll just push it through that hole, which is here, out, and just let it dangle.
Back up in the air, use an 18mm socket on my impact wrench to remove the rear bolts.
And there's a picture of the other side, how that backer piece sits with the nut on it for reference. All right, we got the rear one out on this side. Let's get that bolt removed.
Also, you'll be using 18mm on the front bolt as well. And I'm using a breaker bar to break this loose.
Nice to have these little cordless ratchets. Makes things a lot easier. Here, this sticks out a little bit further. With your grease fittings facing down, the smaller ends of this will go towards the front with the dessert fittings facing down again. That part that sticks out a little bit further on the back facing in towards your rear differential. And that's going to be the same way on both sides. But first, we'll put a little lube, synthetic lubricant, on the outside of these bushings with our finger so they slide up into place easily. Then once you get everything bolted down and torqued, then we'll grease these Zerk fittings. Just so. Let's go ahead and get this other control arm out and get this new one in. Definite weight reduction going with these new arms. Sure. Always like to reduce weight where we can. Put that all the way down again. That's the problem. So this is the stock bolt for the rear, no problem. Okay, I got this puppy out, got the BMR put in place, and it'll fit through the front section fine, no problem. But the rear on these will not go. Will not go at all. This section is too tight back here on the BMRs. Guess I'll be reaching out to BMR and see if maybe I got the wrong part or not. So I contacted BMR support, which is excellent by the way, and see this bushing, this red bushing has this this brass looking insert. The one that's inserted in here now was about a 1/16 too small in diameter. So BMR sent out the same day the correct insert and explained how to push them out with like an extension from a socket wrench and a rubber mallet. $130 foot-pounds. Let's repeat on the opposite side. Everything's torqued down to 130 foot-pounds. Just to give you a close-up there, there's a clip on the back side of this that kind of stays in that little holder there, and that's what the nut is on. Putting the jack here is supposed to help support the axle so it doesn't shift too much. But as you can see, when you remove this lower control arm, the axle does shift a little bit, so it's not quite centered. Take with my hand and push on the axle while I try to feed the bolt through. So we got to get it to shift back just a little bit more. Torque this one down to also 130. Got her off the lift, got the wheels put back on, torqued down, went on the first test drive. Everything rides great. Let's see if we can get in here and see the actual BMR lower control arm. There it is right there. You can see the zip tie holding the brake line. Looking good.